Ryerson University, by virtue of the authority granted by the Province of Ontario under the Ryerson University Act, has awarded the degree Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, with all the rights and privileges attended thereunto, to Mitchell Cohen.
Chancellor Bloomberg, President Levy, Provost Lashamy, members of the Platform Party, Ryerson faculty, staff, and graduates, good morning to all of you. Firstly, a heartfelt thank you to the entire Ryerson community. It is such a great honor to be welcomed so warmly into your family with this honorary degree. It's so wonderful as well to be able to share this moment with my family, my wife Janice and our children, Hannah and Jacob. My father, a doctor of medicine, would have loved this moment, but it is very special that my mother, Shayla, is here today, along with my father-in-law, Larry Lewis, and my mother-in-law, Nettie Lewis, and other friends and colleagues. It's tremendous to be able to share this with all of you. It is also such an honor to be here and share this amazing milestone with all of you, the graduating classes and your families. Today, I'm sure that many of you will be walking out that door later this morning, as I did many years ago, with an entire suitcase filled with mixed emotions. I clearly remember my emotional suitcase. It was filled to the brim. It was filled with excitement, but it was also, to be honest, filled with fear. Mostly because at that moment in time, I actually had no idea what I wanted to do. What I did know, though, was important. What I knew is that along with all of us who had come of age in the 1960s, I had an obligation, a responsibility, in fact, to make the world a better place. Now, as you heard, it was 1973 and I had 2 amazing degrees under my belt. What you didn't hear is that at that moment in time, I had Bruce Springsteen spinning on my turntable, and in the apartment that Janice and I were living in, I had a studio, a music studio. It had carpets on the ceilings of all places. It had egg cartons on all of the walls, and of course several levels of carpet on the floor. And in that semi-soundproof box, I was playing guitar, I was writing songs, I was playing piano, and I was thinking deep thoughts about the possibility of becoming a working musician. However, I also had rent to pay and a lot of records that I wanted to buy. So I realized that in addition to playing songs and writing music, I also needed a J-O-B. And so, with a heart full of youthful optimism and enthusiasm, I did what so many of us do. I opened the newspaper to the help wanted section, to the classified ads, to look for a job. I remember that day very well. I opened the newspaper looking for a job, but in fact, what I found was an entire future. 40 years ago, and it's almost to the day, I was hired as a community development worker for the YMCA. And in that position, I was able to nurture, to support, to help a group of tenants who were working hard to save their homes and to create a better life for themselves and for their families through the development of a nonprofit housing cooperative. Fast forward 40 years to today, And along with all of my partners at Daniels, I am still doing community development work, supporting a group of tenants who are working very hard every day to create a better life for themselves and for their families through the Regent Park revitalization. Now, in all of those intervening years, in the nonprofit sector, building cooperatives, and in the private sector at Daniels, building over 24,000 homes and condominiums, I have held very, very close the inspiration and the lessons learned on the ground as a community development worker for the YMCA. In Montreal in the 1970s, I was inspired by Jean, by Harry, Irene, and by Mr. Merriman, who had the most beautiful smile in the world, each and every one of them fighting to save their homes. Today, just down the street in Regent Park, I'm inspired by Sakina, by Soraya, by Agazi, by Mohammed, Diane, Deborah, and by Thompson Egbo, who has, in fact, the most beautiful smile in the world. Each one of them are igniting passion with their incredible determination, and they are teaching all of us that with a just cause, with a calm voice, and with a spirit of partnership, we can indeed make the world a better place. And on that note, it's important to just pause for a moment and recognize the transformative work that Ryerson is doing in our city, not only working side by side with us and with Toronto Community Housing in Regent Park, but in redefining the role of a university in the 21st century. I hope that each and every one of you are proud of your school, an institution for learning that is so connected to our city, so actively engaged in making Toronto the most vibrant, the most livable, and the most tolerant city in the world. And this is what makes today and this honor so very special to me. Receiving this degree from a university, from a school that not only educates in the classroom, but every day is engaged and educates in the broader community as a true city builder. This honor, however, is one that needs to be shared, particularly with John Daniels and all of my partners at the Daniels Corporation on the Daniels team, every one of whom have embraced not only the significant challenge of Regent Park and the revitalization, but the challenge of what business can and should be today. Committed to social justice, committed to using the power of our business platform to lead, to create, and to build both a local and a global community in which every one of us has food on the table and a safe, secure, and affordable place to call home. Graduates, I'd like to leave you with a few very simple thoughts for you to carry on your journey. Today, whether you're graduating as a nurse, as a community development worker, as an urban planner, or whatever the degree is, undergraduate or graduate, that is being conferred upon you today, whatever it is, remember that this is but one phase on the path of lifelong learning. Always remember that if you remain inquisitive, learning and growth will never end. Learn about and learn from everyone that you meet. Ask questions, and always question conventional wisdom. Why? It's simple. Your idea, your wisdom may, in fact, be a lot wiser than conventional. Always, and I'm sure you've heard this before many times, but remember the importance and the power of networking. Seek out the people that you admire, the people that you want to work with. Don't sit back and wait for opportunity to come knocking at your door, because, in fact, it might not. Chase what you want. Go after it. And when opportunity does come knocking, be ready. With your ears open, your eyes open, and your heart open. Be ready to open that door and jump in with both feet. Most importantly, is to remember that every one of you, every one of us, can make a difference. Your voice is important. Let it be heard, and let your spirit of adventure take you places that you have yet to imagine. But today, as you embark on the next phase of your journey, pause for just a moment to thank and to honor your friends, your family, your classmates, and your teachers. They had your back, they gave you love, and they gave you encouragement along the way, and every one of them deserves an enormous hug as you walk out that door later today. Graduates, this is your moment to remember, to hold, and to cherish. Breathe deep. Enjoy this day. Thank you.